Hello and welcome to the Swamps. Today we're doing a tarot reading on advice and messages from your spirit guides. Before we get started, I would just like to say I am super excited and just over the moon because we're going to be taking home a puppy next weekend and I'm just in a really good mood. Okay, let's get started. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. All right, guys, let's go. Hello, pile 1. This is your tarot reading for advice and messages from your spirit guides. You chose this beautiful green aura quartz, and I just absolutely adore this shade of green and then the shininess of it. Super gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna get into your oracle cards first and then your tarot. Right, so your first oracle card coming out is Surrender to the Divine, Full Moon. Your next oracle card is Aragonite, Release Your Emotional Baggage. Your next oracle card is 22, Intuition. And your last oracle card is Prosperity with the number 36. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. Okay, so this is some interesting advice in the sense that you really don't have to do much, to be honest. I feel as though what your spirit guides are trying to communicate here is that if you just follow your intuition or surrender to the divine, so to speak, you will become prosperous. And whatever this is, because I have a feeling it's going to be really different for everybody, but if there's a situation in your life or a path that you are taking right now and you feel an intuitive urge to go in a specific direction, take it, listen to it, honor it. Is what I just heard. I feel as though for some of you, you are getting really anxious and you're not sure whether or not to follow this intuitive feeling or this intuitive nudge. And that's why this Aragonite, Release Your Emotional Energy, is coming out. Or baggage, sorry. That's basically saying, you might feel anxious about this, and this might be a really intimidating path to take. Maybe you never saw yourself doing this, or you just feel like, I just heard imposter syndrome. Maybe you do feel like you have imposter syndrome, but you do feel an intuitive nudge to take this path. For some of you, I feel like this might have to do with higher education, because I feel like that's where a lot of imposter syndrome comes from. And what I would like to say to that is, that's how everybody feels. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. No one really knows what they're doing. So of course you're going to feel like you have imposter syndrome because you probably don't fully know what you're doing, but you're trying. And that's really all it is if you want to try to do this, if you want to put your energy into this, that's all you need to do. And I feel like that's all you really need to hear right now, to be honest with you, because I feel like you're on the right path. You're just questioning it. And honestly, you don't need to. You do not need to question this. You are where you need to be. The universe and your intuition have guided you here, and it's going to be so worth it to go through with whatever this is. It could be a relationship for some of you. It could be, a class, some kind of college course. It could even be for if you're in high school, some kind of class, extracurricular. I just heard that you're taking. I remember I took some sociology classes that I technically didn't need to take, but I took them anyway, and I loved it. But yeah, this is basically just saying you're on the right path and that you're questioning if this path is right for you, if you even belong here. And the answer is yes, you absolutely belong here. It's just a matter of putting in the effort of being there. And I feel confident that you will put in the effort. And again, that's all that really matters. You don't need to worry about, yes, there are naturals at things out there, but the majority of people that are really good at what they do did not start off as a so-called natural. So don't feel like that. Don't let that intimidate you, basically. Just don't let it intimidate you. So I'm going to look at your tarot cards now. So the first card coming out is the Four of Wands, or the Four of Torches in this deck. And I'm going to go with the traditional meaning here, in the sense that this is a foundation being built. See, like, right now you're in the process of building this foundation, and that might be what is bringing the anxiety, to be honest with you, because you don't see the actual, I'm going to use this metaphorical analogy here. Because this house that you're trying to build isn't fully made yet, because you only really see the stakes in the ground, you know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, is it really going to get done? Am I really going to go all the way with this? I feel like my advice to you is that that's how it always looks. It's always going to look incredibly unfinished before it is finished. So, like, do not let that get to you, because I just get such a good energy off of this pile, to be honest with you. I feel like I relate to this energy very much, in the sense that whenever I am taking a path, whatever path it may be, I get anxious, and I do ask myself, am I doing the right thing? Is this going to backfire on me? And a lot of times it doesn't, sometimes it does. But with this, I will tell you, I get such a good vibe from this. Like, I really feel as though your guides are telling me, like, this, all you really need to hear right now is that this is meant for you, and that all you really need to do is put in the time and the effort and the energy. Let's see your next tarot card, and it is the Universe, which is the world. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna get a lot out of this. This is worth it, okay? And I think that's why this intuition and prosperity card is coming out. Your intuition is currently leading you to a prosperous place in life, and that is like, just, it's like, I'm like thinking of like sweets and cookies. Like, I'm just like, that is like gold right there, okay? Sorry, it's sort of weird to come up, but like, it's just like, that is just such a treat. And you know, you're just like, I think you're a lot closer than you even realize to this prosperity. I think you're so much closer than you realize, because, you know, sometimes things take a really long time. And even though they take a long time, they're actually not a long time, if that makes sense. Like, it feels a lot longer than it is, in the sense that you're going to look back. I'm going to use the college course as an example here. So let's say you're taking a college course on something, and you're just having some kind of imposter syndrome. You're going to look back someday and be like, I can't even believe I thought this wasn't for me, because this is for me. Like, I get the sense that whoever this is, whatever this is, you live and breathe what this is. And even if you don't fully realize that, this is for you. And you are being deeply encouraged to continue forth with it. I cannot stress that enough. And I really hope that the right people get this reading, in the sense that I have a feeling that your spirit guides have been trying to reach you with this message, in the sense that they really do not like to see you question this, because this is for you. Like, I just cannot express that enough right now. Like, it is just, this is meant for you. That's all you really need to know, is that this is meant for you. So that brings me to the next part of this reading, if I can get all these cards here in time. Okay, so I'm going to pull some meditation cards, just giving you some advice on how to meditate, and then we will pull some charms. Okay, that's the one. All right, so understanding is what came out. So let's read this. The next time you interact with a rude or unreasonable person, don't get angry or lose patience. Instead, take time in your daily meditations to really think about what it would be like to walk a mile in their shoes. Is there a trauma or an issue in their life that has deeply affected them, causing this behavior? Focus on understanding what the person may go through in life, and ask the universe to provide them with peace of mind. Okay, so I kind of understand how this relates here. If you are feeling imposter syndrome, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's been a time in your life where you made a mistake on the path that you're taking, and maybe that's why you're just worried about this. Or maybe somebody in your life has made you feel like the need to question these things. But what I'm here to tell you is, like, understand that is not the case, to be honest, with this particular situation, and have some understanding for yourself. Have some patience with yourself with this too, because it might take a while for you to fully feel confident in your position. So I am going to pull some charms real quick. Okay, one just flew onto the floor and you got a lot. Wow. Okay, there we go. This is, I have a feeling that the one that fell on the floor, it fell on the floor to like emphasize it, so we're going to get this one out of the way first. We have a shell coming out, and it makes me feel like shyness. I feel like that goes along with the imposter syndrome. Like you're wondering if you belong here, you're afraid to really be yourself wherever this is. And I'm just here to tell you that, oh, this is the right spot. And I have 2 more charms to indicate that this is the right spot. You are putting your anchor down here, okay? This is where you need to be. This is meant for you. This is the destination, if you will. This is, I couldn't get more clear, to be honest with you. There is an amount of patience that you're going to need for this. So maybe this is maybe you've just started going to a new, college, or taking, moving towards a PhD, perhaps, something like that, if you get what I'm saying. There's going to be some patience that is needed for that, but I truly believe that this is where you need to be. And for some reason, both of these together are just making me think of wisdom, which is really making me think that this does have to do with education for some of you. For others of you, this could have to just do with confidence in some kind of way. But yeah, this is to reiterate, this is meant for you. You don't need to question it. Just go with the flow at this point. Just go with the direction that you are taking yourself in. Listen to your intuition, okay? So that's all I'm really getting for this pile. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Ooh. All right, if you're still here, the anchor just fell. So yeah, just to reiterate, you are definitely where you need to be. All right, hello there, pile number 2. This is your tarot reading for messages and advice from your spirit guides. You chose the beautiful amethyst, tumbled amethyst. We love amethyst here. All right, so we're going to get into your oracles and then your tarot cards, as I usually do. Right, so we're going to move. Hold on, I bumped the camera a little bit, so we're going to try to get it repositioned. All right, I think that's good. All right, so your oracle cards. Your first oracle is the answers you need are coming, full moon Gemini. Your next oracle card is Celestite, soothe your soul. Your next oracle card is 9 with completion. And your last oracle card is belief with the number 11. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Okay, so I feel with this group, there has been an ongoing thing in your life. It could be a situation. It could even be like schooling. It could be a relationship. Again, general readings, not super specific on the the exact details. But this thing, you're beginning to believe it's going to never end. It's going to be ongoing. It's just going to be a never-ending cycle. That's what I'm getting from this. And your spirit guides want you to know that, yes, there will be an end to this. This belief that you have is... I heard outlandish, so it's a little outlandish. It's a little you don't need to believe it like that. You don't need to see it this way, in the sense that there is some kind of answer coming to you that will make this process, this situation easier, and that there is a completion to it. This will come to an end, whatever it could be. It could be a conflict in your life. It could be just I feel like it is a conflict for a lot of you. I heard mother-in-law. So I don't think that's all of you, but for some of you, it could be a conflict with your mother-in-law. It could be a conflict with like, I forget what kind of family that would be considered, but not like immediate family. But yeah, just know, like your spirit guides just really want you to know that this is going to end probably sooner than you realize, as well as the fact that there's going to be information revealed to you that might change your perspective on this entire situation. I don't know if I'm just speaking from my own personal, experience here, but, sometimes it can be really hard to forgive somebody that has done you wrong. And even if you are receiving information that might change your perspective on it, it might still be really hard to forgive this person. And I just want to let you know that you're just being asked to like soothe your soul, just to sort of like, detach from it a little bit. That's sort of what I see here. You're just sort of being asked to detach from the idea that this is never going to end, as well as detaching from even really needing to respond to this anymore. To be honest with you, I feel like that's part of the belief even. I feel like that a lot of people will feel the need to respond to certain conflicts when in reality, they don't really have to. And I feel like this is just sort of something that's been ingrained in us, that we're just sort of made to think that we need to respond to conflict. But I am going to look at your cards now, your tarot cards. So let's see what they are. So the first tarot card coming out is the Star. So like I said, I feel like this will be resolved in some fashion, but I don't know if you're going to really respond to it immediately, to be honest with you. I feel like this is something that you're even being asked to sort of take a break from, honestly. I feel like when I see the card that says the answers you need are coming, I almost feel like while it's going to change your perspective, you're almost going to want to take a break from the situation. And I think that's what this Star is about. It's like, you're going to just sort of take a step back and try to like revive yourself a little bit from this. And that's completely valid, honestly. Like I totally understand that. And I totally think that you should, sorry about that. And I totally think that you should take a step back. I mean, you're pretty much being asked to take a step back here. And sometimes that can help even more than the extra information, basically. So let's see your next card. It is the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. Maybe it's like taking a step back and like putting some energy into yourself, putting some hard work into yourself here. That's sort of what I'm getting here. And it's like, for some of you, this could actually be not just about like a conflict, but it could be about completing something. And maybe in order to complete this, you need to take a step back from it and just sort of look at it from a different perspective here. I think that could go either way though. Like if this is a conflict that you're dealing with, you need to take a step back and just like work on it from like without working on it, kind of weirdly. I don't know how to better like explain that. It's almost like trying to take a time out from it so that you can like have time to yourself and think about yourself and like really think about what's best for you. So what's your last tarot card? It is the Three of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I have like two separate readings coming through, which is what happens a lot of times with these general readings. So on one hand, we have somebody who's dealing with a conflict, and once they take a step back and put in effort and time for themselves, there will be a cause for celebration and you will have a resolution to this conflict. For others of you, this is something to do with a project or like some kind of endeavor that you have gone on, some kind of journey, and you're wondering when this journey is going to come to an end, when it is going to be complete. And weirdly, if you take a step back from whatever this is and try to like maybe even meditate on it, for some of you, you will have what you need to go further to the point of completion. You will have the motivation and the energy that you need to go to get to this Three of Cups energy. That is what I'm getting here. I'm sorry that sometimes the two different messages come through at different points in the reading. I wish they didn't, but all right. So the next part of the reading is I'm going to shuffle my meditation cards and pull out some meditation cards on advice on how to meditate. So let's get to that. I don't know if you can hear him, but my guinea pig is screaming in the other room. So this one is calling to me. Write a letter. Sit down and write a letter to yourself. Fill this letter with compliments and love about all the positive attributes about yourself. So I feel like that goes back to this star card, okay? Take some time back, write yourself a letter. If this has to do with a project or some kind of journey that you're taking, write about that. If this is about some kind of conflict that you're dealing with, write about how, I think I wrote myself a letter during a conflict that I was dealing with one time, and it was really just about sort of just being like, yeah, that's so awful that you're going through this kind of thing. Just give yourself some empathy for the situation, especially if you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of backup, right? So write yourself a letter, be therapeutic about it, be, empathetic about it. Just give yourself a little bit of empathy is sort of what I'm being nudged to tell you here. So last but not least, we're going to pull some charms. Okay, we got interesting. So I feel like what I'm being told here with this one is to just have some faith in this situation, that it will resolve in some capacity. And I feel like this is just, again, emphasizing taking some time to yourself. I really think that's the big takeaway. No matter what the situation is here, take some time to yourself. Take a step back from whatever the situation or journey is, and just really I just heard me time. Just give yourself some me time here. All right, so that's all I'm really getting for this pile. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your tarot reading for messages and advice from your spirit guides. You chose the Blue Apatite. Super cool piece. I love how it's pointed. I like that. All right. Hopefully this won't move around too much. All right, so we're going to get into your oracles first and then your tarot. So your first oracle card is Communication is Key, New Moon Gemini. Your next oracle card is Conclusions Are Within Reach, Full Moon Eclipse. Your next oracle card is Sunstone, Take Pleasure in the Things That You Do. And your next oracle card is 5, Change. And your last oracle card is Gaia with the number 28. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and the universe that birthed us all. Okay, this is interesting. So this is really emphasizing changing the way that you communicate about something. With this Sunstone, take pleasure in the things that you do, I almost feel like it's saying make sure that the way that you're communicating is a way that you would like to be talked to. So I don't know in the context behind this reading, if I'm honest with you, in the sense that I'm not sure if maybe there's a way that you're trying to communicate something that hasn't been very efficient, or if maybe you said something that you regret kind of thing. But this is almost trying to say that if you can change the way that you communicate about this, probably in a way that you would like, then you're going to be closer to the conclusion to whatever this is, whatever you're trying to communicate, if that makes sense. Perhaps the Gaia is a special message about try to communicate this in like, I don't want to say motherly, but motherly is the word that's coming to mind here, in like a motherly way, in like a way that you would want a mother to communicate this, which is an interesting message, to be honest with you. I feel like for some of you, you feel as though you've like lost hope for this, lost hope with communicating whatever this is. And I just want to say it's not that you can't communicate whatever this is. It's that the way that you've been communicating it has not been like efficient is the word that comes to mind. So there's a way that you can communicate this that people are going to understand better. And I think it's going to be different for each of you, but the main like thing that everyone has in common here is that there needs to be more of like a gentler way to communicate this. That's sort of what I'm getting here. There needs to be a very gentle, empathetic way to communicate whatever this is. It might be really difficult to do depending on what it is that you're communicating. If you're trying to, for some of you, I almost feel as though you're trying to help somebody. You're trying to help somebody with this Gaia coming out. You're trying to help them move forward with something. Maybe help, like an example would be like if somebody has an addiction and they've asked you to sort of just like be there for them. Maybe you're a sponsor for somebody and you're just trying to help communicate something to someone. Like maybe they're doing something that's making it harder for them to stay clean, and you want to gently communicate to them what this is. Maybe perhaps you got angry at one point and were not as gentle with them, but you're being asked to be more gentle about whatever this is. It might not be that exactly for you, but I think that's a good example because that's sort of the energy I'm getting here. Yeah, there's just an emphasis here on changing the way you communicate about this. And I feel as though the way that the direction in which you need to communicate this is a little bit more like lighter, friendlier, empathetic. Not trying to say that you aren't empathetic to this person, but I almost can feel as though there might have been some frustration previously, and you're just being asked to maybe be more careful with that. It's really easy to speak in anger. It's not as easy to speak after the anger, to be honest, to correct that. But it can be done. And I'm not trying to say that, not trying to discourage you from that if that's the direction that you need to go in next. So let's see what your tarot has to say. So we have the Ten of Swords. For some of you, I feel as though you think that you may have really screwed this up. I feel like some of you have said something that you regret saying. And this is, again, about trying to communicate something to somebody. So maybe you communicated it in a rather harsh way to them. And this is, I really truly believe that this reading is saying like, hey, you may have screwed up a little bit here, but it's not impossible to fix. You just need to be more gentle in the way that you communicate with this person. Or these people. It could be multiple people for some of you. Definitely with this Sun card, it really makes me feel as though you need to think about it. Like you need to sort of put this person's shoes on, and you need to sort of just be like, okay, if I were them, how would I want this piece of information to be communicated to me? Honestly, that's a really good piece of advice for anything, not just this particular situation when it comes to communicating with people. Like, how would I want to receive this information? That's, I think, what you should be thinking about right now. And just know that even though it does feel like it, this is a really great card, even though it does feel like she is just at her end here, she's not. And I feel like that's sort of what's being told to you here. It looks worse than it actually is. I feel like that's sort of what that card's trying to say. So let's see your next tarot card. And then we have the Princess of Pentacles. And I think this card is perfect. There is a gentleness to this card. There's a very nurturing energy to this card. Is she pregnant? It almost looks like there's a baby bump there, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Again, with the motherly energy though, there's this, you need to be gentle with this person. And again, I get the sense that it might be easier said than done for some of you. This person might be at the beginning of their journey to recovery is sort of what I get for some people. Or they're just trying to take a new leaf in some other kind of way and you're trying to help them with that. That's sort of the energy of this group. And I feel like it's been a bit frustrating at the beginning here. But with patience and gentleness, I truly believe that you and this person or these people will move forward. And it's just a matter of like patience and gentleness, to be honest with you. So the next part of the reading, I'm going to pull some meditation cards just for some advice on how to meditate on this. So here we go. Okay, that's the one. All right, so we have take a breather. Take a small break during work today. Try to find somewhere quiet like your car or even the restroom. Clear your mind and close your eyes. Focus on the job at hand and realize that it doesn't define who you are. Okay, so maybe that's where the frustration is coming from. Maybe you're putting more weight on yourself in this situation than you need to. That could be part of it. Another thing could just be to take a breather. Like, if you feel like you're going to yell at this person or, something like that, maybe raise your voice or say something that you might regret, take a breather, take a step back. I have a feeling that this person has been very frustrating to work with. It might not necessarily be somebody trying to journey to sobriety, but I feel like that is something that at least one of you is going through. And just know that it takes time. It takes so much time. So you may as well take a second to breathe. Whatever this is going to take a little while. So whenever you can get the chance, take a second to breathe and just try to remember, what's going to work with this person. Again, think back to how you would like to go through how you would like to go through this yourself, kind of thing. Like, how would you want to be talked to in this situation? Maybe that would be what the breather is. Like, take a breather and think about that kind of thing. So we're going to pull some charms now. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this is kind of a funny one. When I saw this, I heard don't sell yourself short. So weird pun, but I normally don't hear puns like that when I pull the charms. So I'm going to roll with that. I feel like you've been putting a lot of work into this, whatever it is, this person, this situation, these people, and it's been getting frustrating, and I think that's why you're being asked to communicate differently, because maybe you've lost your grip on some things. But at the same time, even if you have screwed up here to a degree, don't sell yourself short. You're working hard with the situation. I can tell this means a lot to you, and if it didn't, you really would. I truly believe you would have just walked away from whatever this is. So don't sell yourself short. You're putting a lot of effort into this. You deserve to be recognized, and I feel like that's sort of what this is doing for you here. Your spirit guides are saying, like, look, we see that you're working hard on this, and this is just a little piece of advice on how to handle this, basically. We've got, is this pink? I can't tell if it's pink or white. We've got a cat. So I feel like this person is sort of like a cat in the sense that they're smart and they listen sometimes, but they're also very independent. And that might be what's so frustrating about this. It could be a child for some of you, or it could be like if you're a teacher, children. But this person remember kindness is sort of what I'm here to tell you. Just remember gentleness. Remember, because that's kind of how cats work too. If you're gentle with the cat, they trust you faster. And that I think they just appreciate that in general, cats do. So I feel like that's sort of where the cat's coming in here. And then we have this lotus charm, which I think just sort of goes back to take a breather. So the main takeaway here is to just remember to be gentle with this person or people or situation, and to remember to give yourself credit for the amount of work that you are putting into it, as well as take a breather when you need to take a breather. So that's all I'm really getting for this pile. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. All right. Thank you everybody for watching this video. Thank you everybody who watches my videos. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to me. Sending you so much love. Again, I am super excited for this upcoming week. And so not this weekend, but next weekend. I guess it is this upcoming weekend when I post this. Sorry about that. But yeah, also, if anyone's watching this, let me know how you feel about the lighting, because I opened up the window behind me and I'm not sure if I like that or not, because sometimes there's a glare on the cards, but it also, when I lay down the cards, they look really nice. So let me know if we like that, if we hate that, let me know. And yeah, I think I'm going to take a nap after this because this has been a bit of a long weekend for me. So, all right. I hope you all have a wonderful week.